Hello, friends. Another episode of Space Tomato reacting to something Star Citizen related. I don't know. I didn't do one last week because I had some technical difficulties recording the screen, and I always want to get this done the first time I watch the video for like that, genuine reaction. So, no video last week, but let's see what they've got for us this week.
In 315, we are delivering hospitals for the players of Star Citizen. For me, the healing loop is something that's gonna have a big impact on the way we play, especially.
Oh my god, look at the curtains that you're gonna be. Why are they? Rimex, that's why they're ripped.
We ended up creating these drop-off points where you can carry your injured friend.
Okay.
It sort of looks like an elevator.
That's interesting.
With a gurney in the middle. So if you have a big crew and everybody has had a bad day, then you can keep feeding them to the machine.
So you have to bring them. Okay, so that makes sense. I was wondering how they were going to do that. You have to bring them in with the ambulance, wheel them out the back of your ship into this elevator, and then send them on their way. You better make sure you got time for all that.
One of the interesting challenge about building hospitals is obviously that we have to build them for a purpose that isn't there yet. And so what we did on the design side, we were very involved with the actor feature team in what is the healing loop going to be like, and what are the requirements.
Please tell us.
We have to factor in our location. So we decided that we need some pharmacies
nice
where
drugs.
we can purchase meds. We need also instrument shop where you can set your respawn position. We need also like a completely new way of approaching rooms reservation. We know we get assigned a room in the habitation when we spawn, but now we do it the other way around, where you go into a location and you reserve a room from the lobby, and we didn't have that flow before. So we had to develop all of that to support all the mechanics that are implied with the healing.
For 315, we introduced 4 hospitals: Horizon, Base Clinic, Grimex, and New Babbage.
As you enter New Babbage Hospital, you'll see right away what I think is one of the really cool features of this hospital is that there's this glass ceiling above you that allows you to really take in the vista. And if you look behind you, you'll see the Aspire Grande Tower where the abs are. You're gonna find your reception on your right hand side, and you're gonna find all your shop and services needs on your left hand side. And really from there, all you have to do is keep going straight to the other half where the elevators are. And then it takes you to the medical floors.
I specifically worked on the upper floors of the hospital.
So far, I just don't have much to comment on.
At the nurse's desk, spawned in at the medical room.
In my opinion, this hospital shines.
It's a good-looking area. It looks great. I just don't know what it does.
Is really big, super high ceiling, really open, and super clean too. You have like the reception right in front of you, and the service is a bit behind. And then the elevators, they take you higher up.
As you go out of the elevator, then the player will pass through and see this absolutely gorgeous wind sculpture there, and seeing those big whales passing through the clouds in front of you.
I'd love to see some whales.
Medical bed.
I love whales when I'm in medical beds.
And then we have the space clinics. They still offer all the same services that you would.
These are great. I like these the most.
Hospital. It's just that everything is more compact.
We're creating modules and different pieces of the space clinic, so that way every time you experience it, it'll be just a little bit different, and you'll still get the same feeling.
Yeah, I like these space clinics. I think that's where we're going to be spending most of our time.
The elevators that takes you to the hangar, so that whether you come in after you're being injured or whether you're walking out and you're in a hurry to go back in space, it's easy and convenient. So you walk in there, it's again very clean, but much less so than Horizon, obviously.
Waft tech!
Kind of low-tech vibe to it. These ones, I expect them to be fairly popular because they're just so convenient. Grimex, if it had a smell, it would smell like like a sport bag or something like that.
Low tech is not as clean as New Bab or Rise.
Sport bag's not
Me
bad,
personally,
to be honest.
it's the best. It's much smaller. It's more like on the clinic size, so there's not a big elevator to go through, as we all know.
Oh my god, I'd never go to a hospital like this.
In game development, so it's a good thing that we skipped one there. It has this really nice view to the asteroid field outside. And the cool thing is that you can also land your ship right next to a side entrance to the clinic. So if you're in a hurry and you don't want to go and park in a hangar and do the traversal, you can park right next to it, get out, walk in, and get treated. But the thing is, like, it's open space, right? So
So
your
you don't have to
ship is
call.
exposed while you do that, and you could very well see a pirate fly in and shoot at your ship as you're getting fixed yourself. And
Why would they do that?
this kind of emergent like interaction is really what makes the game shine, I think.
Shooting at my ship for no reason. Where are you?
The hospitals are part of a game changer.
When people leave the hospital and they wake up and they explore around, I think they're really going to see like the love and care we put into each crevice and corner.
Drugs.
I hope that the hospitals are gonna be a way to wrap up the full healing loop. Honestly, if the players find them convenient, me as a designer, I'm happy my job is done.
You said wrap up the whole medical loop. We don't know anything about it.
Major offering from our team in Montreal.
Tell us something.
And serve as harbinger of the next major advancement in player healing from the actor feature team scheduled to come online in the upcoming Alpha 3.15. And while we'll be learning more about how all that works in the coming weeks, let's shift gears now to spaceships. Specifically, Aegis stalwarts, the Gladius, Saber, and Retaliator.
Just stretch it out, CIG.
What it really means to be the gold standard.
Really just stretch out these ISC episodes.
To this day and beyond.
The gold standard pass is what we are terming this current pass on the vehicles. We are implementing primarily cockpit button placement, cockpit button animations, making sure everything is symmetric, both character and item-wise, exposing all the ship items, lighting passes, material passes. Gold standard is finishing the ship to as complete a standard as we can with the feature set that we have right now in the game. The first ship that we put through this pass was the Aegis Gladius.
I was a little nervous working on the.
I want to see the Saber Raven.
The Star Squadron, and I wanted to make sure I did a good job on it, and then also coupled with the fact that because Squadron are using it, I had to make sure that I didn't break anything with each submit, so they can keep working on Squadron and still able to test and work on it. We started off with adding component hatches and a personal inventory. Gladius didn't seem to have any visible headlight source, so I went in and added some nice big headlights for that at the front. And then it was just with the thruster glows as well, trying to get them to look nice and read from a distance.
To be honest, the thruster glow on the Gladius used to look so much better than it does now. In fact, if I remember, I'll throw a picture up of a picture I took recently and a picture that I took a long time ago. You'll see how it's changed. It used to look so much better. That being said, this looks really nice.
Adding the fuel port on it as well.
The component stuff is nice. Someday I hope we'll be able to use them.
Geo optimizations and material optimizations and more stuff that you don't necessarily would see, but makes the game, more optimized and runs better.
Basically making it ready
So
art-wise.
the next ship, which was the Saber, we built on what we learned from the Gladius and did that in the Saber.
We haven't seen this
For
yet.
instance, the damage mesh needed a bit of tweaking. We added in a bunch of lighting so you can still read the ship from afar, but not make it too bright as it's still a stealth ship. And after the whole exterior was done and dusted, we moved on to a revision of the dashboard, overall just reworking so it's not as noisy, and now you have a better view of your cockpit, and then just everything nice and compact to the sides. In a couple of sentences, a really rough overview of the Saber Gold Standard process.
Every ship
So
is going to
the
have these
Gold
animating
Standard
component
is
things.
Obviously a much larger task than the Gladius and Saber. Has all the same criteria of work, so looking at the cockpit, looking at the components, adding all the things, checking everything's symmetric. But because it's got an interior, then there's additional tasks added. So the same work we do for the cockpit of the pilot has to be done for the turrets. The components that you can physically take out of the ship, can you physically take them out of the ship? Do the doors need to be wider, etc.? Now you've made the doors wider, do they still fit in the ship when they open? And we also took the time to look at the central room and thought, can we improve on this? We decided to remove the top and bottom docking collars and go for a side airlock, which also helps for docking because that's just a natural walking on transition. And then because we'd lost a lift on that side, we then realized we had to make the lift on the other side slightly larger to accommodate essentially 2 lifts worth of people. So that.
Now keep in mind, this is something that people bring up a lot. They're going to have to do this for every ship. And every time they go back to a ship, they realize something is wrong, you know, whether it be tech debt, whether it be just designs have changed since then, whether they just completely messed up the interior, like with the Starfarer. All these ships are going to have to get this pass again. And that adds, I mean, this is all art, so I imagine at this point, the ship is good. Then after that comes, you know, the pipe system, the components, the damage effects, all that kind of stuff. But this seems like it's really just making sure this ship is ready to go. So 3 years from now.
You've now just got 1 lift on that side of the ship to get in and a docking collar on the other side to get in. The thing that the Retaliator has is the customizable room modules. And there's a cargo module front and back.
First time seeing modules.
A dropship module at the front. They were all brought up to current standards. So when modularity comes on as a swappable item, they are good to go.
Ooh. Well,
That's
when is that?
The first gold standard ships. Obviously going to go through all the ships, but we are going to focus on the ones that feature heavily in Squadron 42 first.
What is that?
We will roll on going to focus.
What is that? Ship looks like this and has a, this looks like a crane. A coffee machine. What is this? Is this a module?
Focus on the ones that feature heavily in Squadron.
Temperature? I don't know what this is.
42 first, and then we will roll on to your favorite ship afterwards.
So what did we learn this week? Well,
My
we
favorite
learned
ship.
that hospitals are the vanguard of
Starliner?
new player healing mechanics coming to Star Citizen. That
All right, well that's it for this week. To be honest, this is a filler episode. It's cool, it's good, but it was hospitals, which is something that we've been seeing for the last year, and it's gold standard ships, which is something that we see in the monthly report and could have been a single couple sentences. So either way, not the best episode. We'll see what they could do for us next week. That's it. Glad I could react this. I hope you had fun reacting to me reacting, and maybe I'll react to your reactions down below in the comments. See you later. Thanks for coming, and I'll catch you in the next one.